Hi, this is Dipen Mashru from DMTI Soft Pro, known as Digital Dipen. So I decided to shoot this video after a conversation which I had with some of my students last evening. These students normally do get in touch with me regularly, and we do discuss what's happening in the digital marketing industry. And they will be working with a lot of digital marketing agencies, and obviously with a lot of a lot of e-commerce companies as their clients. And they were telling me that once the lockdown is lifted, these digital marketing, these e-commerce companies are really going to be going all out on the digital marketing front. They have revamped their websites. They have planned to have digital marketing ads running full throttle as soon as the lockdown is lifted, because they're expecting to get a lot of business coming in from once the deliveries start, once everything goes back to normal. So one point, so luckily what happened was some of the students did get in some of their clients on the on the Zoom portal to speak to me, and we had a very nice discussion. Unfortunately, I cannot show you that discussion because for the obvious reasons. So one thing, as they said, as I mentioned, was that these e-commerce clients are really looking forward for the lockdown to lift, hoping that they're going to get a lot of sales. And their viewpoint was that once the lockdown is lifted, people will be spending more money. People who have not bought anything online for the last 2-3 months will start buying things online. Plus, because there still will be a scare factor still involved of going out for shopping, especially certain items which they feel that they can simply order online, which normally they used to go outside and order. When they used to go to the shops and order, they will be ordering these items online. And so this was at least the essential items, some normal items which they would normally go to which they would go to the shops and buy. They would now start buying it online. Thus, there will be an increase in the sales on the e-commerce platforms. So that is all fine, and I agree. We agreed upon that issue. But the question arises here is that after the lockdown, especially when you talk about these stores, especially clothing, where it is like what you call as the non-essential items, will these shops, will these stores, boutiques, will they see an increase in sales? Will they get footfalls coming into the shops, or on the e-commerce platforms, will we see these people buying these products? That was the main question which we discussed. So one of the viewpoints was that once the lockdown is lifted, people might just go all out and say, oh wow, now everything is, we want to buy this, we want to buy this, we want to buy this, and they just go all out and start buying stuff on the e-commerce platforms. They started visiting all these boutiques. Second viewpoint was that people have not been got paid in the last 2 months. In the last 60 days, they have got paid their salaries, or at least some of the salaries have been held back. So they might not have that money to go out and start spending immediately, maybe 2-3 months down the line. The third scenario was that people will be very cautious now with their money, because they don't know what's going to happen the next day. They say that, if this thing comes back, so something new comes in, again our salaries will get affected, our livelihoods will get affected. We need to have some kind of money saved, and they'll be very cautious with their money. So that was another viewpoint that was considered. Just yesterday, there were also articles in the newspapers and the online media that even these stores, once they open up, like pantaloons and whatever those kind of stores, they will be some of them will be removing the trial rooms completely. Some of them would be allowing only certain number of customers in the store at any given point of time. Some of the stores we can only enter via prior appointment. So this also would be a hindrance for at least for the brick and mortar stores to start selling. Maybe all these products will be with all this will get translated into online sales. So very nice and a very interesting discussion we had with these e-commerce clients last evening with some of my students, ex-students. What are your viewpoints on this? What do you feel is going to happen after? Because as I said before, the e-commerce companies are raring to go all out once the lockdown is lifted, once they are allowed to start delivering goods to people. What are your viewpoints on this? I would love to hear that. Anyway, catch you later. Bye. Take care.